neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today I'm with Russell from Deutsche Hydrapro, and we are taking a look at the Alpha Series actuators. So explain a little bit of why would someone need an actuator for their camper, trailer, whatever it may be.
So when it comes to brake pumps, an electric over hydraulic brake actuator is essentially the pump that stops the trailer. This is the pump that supplies the brake fluid to the calipers, pushes them into the brake pads. And electric over hydraulic is traditionally known as the more dependable braking system.
So just like a car, you want to have good brakes, good tires, so you're safe going down the road. And I think a lot of what people in RVs realize is once that braking power is not there, the next step to go from drums is to go to electric over hydraulic or even disc further on. And this is where this comes into play, correct?
Yeah, an electric over hydraulic setup is seen as one of the safest braking options. It's the most dependable and reliable, especially when you're dealing with expensive equipment. RVs can get really expensive. You're essentially towing around your home, so you're going to want a dependable braking system to keep your RV or your luxury boat as safe as possible. And you just know the dependability you have when you put your foot on the brake is going to keep you and your stuff safe.
Yeah, and brakes are definitely something that people overlook until you have that panic mode, and same goes for cars. And then all of a sudden you go, I need to upgrade that, because you're only as good as what you can do as far as stopping.
Yeah, well, and there is a price difference between an electric brake setup and an electric over hydraulic, but I've never seen anyone who went electric over hydraulic want to go back to electric. The proof is in the pudding on RVs. They're stopping. I believe some of our partners over at D-Max actually ran their own tests where they took an RV, ran it, stopped the brakes with its electric braking system, converted it to electric over hydraulic, ran the same test, and they went from 400 plus feet needed to stop at like 40 miles an hour to just over 200 feet.
With the Alpha Series, there's 4 different models, and they each do something different, and it might be a better fit for someone. Let's break those down and figure out what's the difference.
Yeah, so we cover both drum and disc brake setups for our neighbors. And what we have on the drum brake side, what I have in front of me is an Alpha X unit. But so we have drum and disc setups. This Alpha X, this is going to be for your heavy-duty disc, your your quad axle disc brake setups. And the reason it's the Alpha X, it's a 1600 PSI unit, but it's about 2.5 inches longer than our standard housing because we've incorporated a 28.7 fluid ounce tank rather than our standard 15.7 ounce tank. So you get, for those larger calipers that need a lot more fluid, the hotshotters who have tested these for us say they definitely feel a difference on their tri and quad axle trailers when braking compared to a standard 1600 on those large setups. Below this, for disc brakes for your single and dual axle trailers, we have just the regular 1600. Besides the length, it's a little bit shorter than this standard housing. That is just your 1600 PSI actuator for all disc brake applications for single and dual axle trailers. Then we have our 2 drum brake units, which is our G1200 and our G1000. We got really creative with the names, so whatever numbers on the side of the unit corresponds with the PSI that it outputs. So our 1000 PSI unit is for drum brakes, and that's typically your 8K setups and under. And then the 1200 would be for your 8K and above.
Okay, so it covers a whole spread of whatever trailer you may have then.
Yeah, whether you're just you've got a smaller trailer but you want that electric over hydraulic setup to your 40, 50-foot goosenecks that are rocking either disc or drum brakes.
So this takes fluid and uses a pump to create that pressure to go to the calipers. So a pump is just a pump, correct?
Not always. So one of the big differentiating factors about the Deutsche Hydrapro units is that our pump was designed in-house, and we have it manufactured in Europe by a very well-renowned hydraulic company. And it was the goal of our owner of the company, who's also the designer who designed the actuator and the pump itself. He had a very specific company in mind that he wanted to manufacture our pump when he designed it. So that is a big differentiator when it comes to that.
And what does that translate for someone with their camper or RV? Will they feel the difference with that pump?
I would say yes. They would feel the difference because it's tried, tested, and true. And we have, we've tested it thoroughly and know that our pump does an amazing performance job.
A little more consistency throughout braking, a little less jabby.
More consistent like brake pressure overall. It doesn't struggle to maintain consistent braking pressure when needed. There's less wear and tear on the system itself, and by designing your own parts, knowing what the application is, you can create parts that withstand the rigors of towing.
So this will hook up just like any other actuator, correct? It's standard wiring and everything?
Yep, standard wiring. We put the same wire color so there's no confusion. So installation is simple.
So same amount of power going through. Now, where we see it down line on the brakes, do we see a difference in that, even with the same voltage going through?
Yeah, so based on testing that we did, our unit actually at the same amount of voltage will produce 12% more pressure at the same amount of power.
And that's just from a more efficient pump design, I would assume.
More efficient pump, more efficient motor, and just overall design of the unit itself.
And being able to be in these trainings and get training from Russell and other vendors, we've really got to see the people that stand behind their products. And you guys are definitely proud of your product, and in the best way, you support it as well. And how does that translate to the people at home?
Yeah, for your neighbors at home, we back our product 100%. We have a no-hassle warranty. We have a quick 3-step troubleshooting guide that's available on our website, or they call us and we'll walk them through it. But if we ever find out, it's 3 steps. If our unit fails any one of those 3 steps, we will have a new unit out to you, typically same day, and we'll have a prepaid return address label emailed to you to send the old one back to us. No muss, no fuss.
That's awesome. You can be back on the road in no time.
Yep, exactly. And that's what's important to us, is getting our neighbors back on the road.
Thank you, Russell. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.